Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Olaru Games.
Spathodea is a beast DPS, focused on dealing single-target reality damage. She's able to self-buff, increase her critical rate, apply burn, and generate precast incantations. She's a real boss killer, so choosing her is gonna be a lot of value. Spathodea's kit revolves around buffing herself up, stacking burn, and unleashing powerful hits. Her card, Little Boxer, is a one-target attack dealing 200, 300, 500% reality damage. When in pre-ignition, the attack also gains 40% critical damage. Ignition Point is the buff. It grants 3 stacks of pre-ignition, 2 stacks of exhilaration, and 1 stack of preparation. Preparation is a special buff that creates a precast incantation for the next turn. A precast incantation is a special card that appears on the upcoming turn. If not used, it will disappear, so don't forget to use them. In this case, Little Boxer will be precast, and its level will match to one of the Ignition Point buff card. Pre-ignition applies 1 burn per stack right before attacking, while Exhilaration provides Spathodea with 15% critical rate increase per each stack. The higher the level of Ignition Point, the more stacks she receives. Flame Within the Fire is Spathodea's ultimate move. It's a one-target attack dealing 700% reality damage. This attack's critical damage is increased by 40% by default, but if the target has 15 or more stacks of burn, it will be increased by another 40%, so try your best to get those stacks. Now let's talk about the inside. What? One second. Can you guys hear me? What happened? Did the computer crash? The guy that was playing, what happened? Bro, it's like halfway. I don't know how to fix it. It crashed. Now what? I mean I have it here. I could technically like just read it to you, I guess. Right? I can continue. I have it here, right? So I can continue the guide from what it was, I guess, right? That's fine, right? So we were talking about inside. I'm just gonna repeat it, right? Because could you guys hear it? Was that what it was? Like, I think it bugged during the inside. So I guess I'll read it to you. Basically, like the inside. So the inside one gives Spathodea 25% critical rate increase if she applies burn, right? So that's really cool, because that way with I3, so I2 is like 8% more damage, and I3 it's like a loop with I1 and I2 and I3. It's like I1 gives you critical rate if you burn, and I3 applies 4 stacks of burn when you crit. So you crit if you burn, and because you crit, you burn, right? It's just like, it's like a loop, which is nice. So try to get her to I3 as soon as possible. And so that's the inside 3. And then now we move on to, let's talk about the burn, which is, I was supposed to be like a whole thing, but I don't know what the fuck happened. But yeah, it doesn't work. So yeah, let's talk about burn. So burn is a dot. It counts as 1 negative status, and every time you apply it, right? It's apply, and then when it triggers, it loses half of its stacks. So if you have like 15 stacks and triggers, now you have 7. It gets rounded to the lowest number. So yeah, do that. So it's gonna be a little harder than you think to build those 15 stacks for the Spathodea ult. But yeah, that's how it works, right? So even if you have a million burn stacks, it's still gonna count as a 1 negative status. And also, burn also gives the enemy minus 15%. It says here minus 15% healing, like less healing taken, stuff like that, right? It says less healing taken, but whatever. So yeah, so that's it. Now let's move on to the portraits, right? Now if you're free to play, you can just do P0, it's fine. But if you're a whale, or if you're waiting for her, right? As a free to play, maybe you have like a million pulls stacked. You were like a fan of Spathodea. The good Psychube, well, let me change. I think it's here. So the good Psychubes are the good portraits are P3 and P5 for the mega damage. Otherwise, the others are just like improvements on the crit and the damage of the normal cards, like the punch and the preignition, right? So those are the usual stuff, but the good ones are on, in my opinion, P3 and P5, because those are the ones when you get the higher critical damage on the ult, which is what you want, because that's the heavy hitting one. You're not necessarily trying to speedrun the punches, right? You're trying to speedrun the 15 stacks for the ult, so that's good. Now, those are the portraits. So if you can, either P0 or P3 or P5, in my opinion. Okay. So let's now move on to let's maybe if I have, if I can get a cable of if I can get one, I don't know. Let's continue. Maybe I can fix it, guys. Maybe I can fix it. Right, so let's move on to the Psychube. So the Psychube is really simple, okay? She has her own Psychube, Long Night Talk, and you can do that. You can pick up for free from the shop. It's really good and it's made for her. But if for whatever reason, maybe you're trying to do some weird team and you need a crit Psychube or something like that, you could do that. But I personally would use Long Night Talk, which is the best one. But if you want, you can use Luxurious Leisure as well. If you're using Long Night Talk on your 37, which is another character that could use that, or you can use Thunderous Applause if you're trying to crit a lot and you're trying to do something you don't own a Tooth Fairy, but you want to crit, like stuff like that. In that case, you need to do stuff like this, and yeah, so that, keep in mind, you can do that, it's fine, right? So those are the Psychube. And then when it comes to the teams, right? When it comes to the teams, there are many options. You can use Ulu first of all. Now I would argue, I think I'm gonna make a video about it as well. I think maybe it's even up if you're watching right now. I think Ulu is not super worth building, and you will see why. It's a very long argument. You will see why in my other video called Spathodea worth pulling or something like that, right? Go check that video for that information. But I wouldn't recommend Ulu personally. I know it's a hot take. I know other content creators recommend her. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea. You can do that, yes. Will it work? Yes. Will it be better for Spathodea? Yes. but there are some counter arguments that I make on that video. Yeah, we can do that, but let's continue with the teammates. So the teammates that she can use to help herself could be are many, right? You can use Beacon, you can use Shamaine, you can use Tenant, right? You can use Six, and obviously whenever 1.7 arrives, you will be picking up Isolde, okay? And by picking up Isolde, she will basically single-handedly make Ulu irrelevant forever and make all of the burn problems go away, because you're gonna have so much burn going on the enemy at all times that you're not even gonna believe, okay? You're gonna have like 30 stacks constantly, which, by the way, that's the max of burn that you can have on the enemies and the monsters. 30 stacks. So those are the teams. Now you can mix and match Tooth Fairy, right? Tooth Fairy, you can do Medicine Pocket, you can do whatever you want. Not Vila, but Vila is coming in 1.8, so you don't care, right? And also she needs like mental, but all the healers work. If you have Tooth Fairy, is good for the crit, for crit enabling, so you don't have to run something else than Long Night Talk. You really want to play and use Long Night Talk with her. So mix and match those, like Spathodea, Shamaine, Six, Tooth Fairies without Isolde, right? Let's do it without Isolde. Spathodea, Bicorn, Six, Tooth Fairy, or instead of Beacon you put Shamaine, or instead of Shamaine you put like Tenant for some shielding. I don't know, like, so you can do a lot of things. You can basically use all the core characters that do buff reality in any shape or form, even debuffs, and you can just use those, right? So yeah, so that I forgot the resonance, right? Because it was over here. Okay, so the resonance, you basically run crit, but if you have enough crit, then you run attack, right? I would like to show you, so I can't just tell you, right? Because you need to know the square. So let me see if I can actually fix, because I think there's a thing here, right? I get like a cable. So like these cables, I haven't used them all because I didn't think it was going to be needed, but no, so this goes here, this goes here, and this one, I believe this one goes here. The fuck? This one goes here. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Now, let's see if I can fix it. Yeah, okay. Well, that works. Well, yeah, I think I got it, guys. I think I got it. Let me do this real quick. Right, so 3, 2, 1, we're going back. When it comes to resonance, it depends on how much critical enabling supports you have, if you have Isolde in your team or not, or if you're using a crit Psychube. Here's 2 resonance options, attack focus and crit focus, which you can switch to depending on the circumstances. Overall, Spathodea is a very powerful unit, and if you're missing a beast DPS or want a reality alternative to your Melania team, she is definitely a very good choice. Keep in mind that you might want Isolde as well after getting her for a more smooth experience. That concludes the guide. For more information, join the Discord in description or come say hi to my stream at twitch.tv/Jakazin. Thank you for watching and see you next time.